Hello. Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Hello, I'm back. I'm back with the stream and stuff. I took a week off. I'm so glad I took that week off. At first, I'd started with just me just really wanting to edit. I was just so in the mood to get my Korra video done because I was slightly behind schedule. And I was like, it's the fire is lit inside me, and I just wanna edit it. I wanna get it done. And so I didn't stream last week, so I could focus entirely on that. And I think it worked out perfectly because last week ended up being like crazy. I got 4 videos done last week, which is a lot. That's a lot to do in 1 week. But man, it was crazy. Hello, everybody. Yeah, I sway around. Look at me go. I move. Yeah, the first video I had last week was reviewing that Monster High doll, the Frankie doll. And that was just a fun little video that I was experimenting with. I've been doing a lot of experimenting lately. In fact, all of April is going to be one big experimentation month. I am a bit of a workaholic. I just enjoy it too much. It's too much fun. I can't help it. It doesn't feel like work, which is good. So yeah, all of April is going to be like one big experiment month because I want to take that time to focus on getting things ready for Magical Girl May, which was after April. So I'm gonna experiment with minimal script writing because script writing tends to be a lengthy process. But if I do it kind of like by ear, I think it could work out. So I'm gonna experiment with that. I am gonna script out specifically probably another Korra video. We might get another Korra video sooner rather than later. So that's gonna be good. Yeah, then the second video I put out last week was my first ever. I'm hosting a Warrior Cats map. I am so excited. MAP stands for Multi-Animator Project. I love them. I love them so much. I love Warrior Cats. As then, like, 2 years ago, very, very recently, I discovered that not only is the Warrior Cats fandom still as alive and strong as ever, back when I, like, first engaged with it when I was in middle school years ago, but it's even more crazy and even bigger and more fun than ever before. And I was just blown away. I dove headfirst back into the franchise after walking away from it years before. And so I've been watching a lot of Warrior Cats maps. Specifically, the one that inspired me first was Louis. Louis's one of their Crow Song maps, which was so cool, and I enjoyed it so much, and I wanted to. And my initial plan was I was going to do this whole animated music video about Blue Star, just all on my own. So that was my initial plan, and then I got like the first 2 shots of it ready, and I was like, this took forever. And so I kind of put that on the back burner. I had figured this all out like months ago. Like back in last August, I think, maybe. And then I joined someone else's project for like a Maple Shade map. So that was cool. And then I learned just by joining that one how like it works. And I was like, I could do this. And I was really, really nervous. That was the biggest thing. I was like so scared that everyone would hate me, that they would think it would be a dumb video, no one would apply. But nah, it worked out. People have joined the project. Are you all just vibing in the chat, or is there a technical difficulty? So yeah, I was scared. I was also like afraid it would like completely shut down my YouTube channel. I don't have any like copyright claims, so it couldn't just take down the whole channel in an instant. But that like weird part of me in the back of my mind was just sitting there like it because I can't copyright it. Are you all here? Say something in chat if you're here, because it's not moving. Okay, good. Yeah, so I was like, I can't copyright it because it's a whole song from Florence and the Machine. So I can't. I'm not gonna be able to monetize it. But that thing in the back of my head, ever since that my Spirited Away video got a strike, like that little bit of fear has been inside of me ever since. Yeah, it looks great. I thought people were gonna think my storyboards looked dumb because they're all different sizes. Because I drew them in like one notebook that is a specific size, but when I took pictures and then I put them on my computer and then I put them up, I cut out the edges, like all the dead space on the sides, and so they're all like different sizes throughout the video. But yeah, so that's exciting. I've had 8 people join. 2 other people applied. They haven't reached out to me since this morning. But yeah, it's so exciting. It's gonna be so great when it's done. Am I looking forward to Resident Evil Death Island? I am actually. I saw the trailer, and the moment that shark thing showed up, I was like, I'm ready. I want it. And then the big thing happened last week, which was I tweeted about that Bumblebee screenshot, and people just lost their minds. I legitimately, some people have been saying that, like, I purposefully made a take to purposefully entice the fandom and blah blah blah. I legitimately expected no one to interact with my tweet. I expected like the same amount of interaction as the Pokemon that I've been drawing every day. I expected like maybe 20 people to like it, 1 or 2 comments being like, yeah, okay, I agree. And then it just, I don't know what happened. So I don't know who retweeted it how, or what website, whose Tumblr it went to, or whatever. But it just went crazy. And people are like, you're attacking our fandom. And I'm like, this is such, it's not a bad, like, this is pretty tame. It's so, like, bananas. And the thing that I've been really, laughing about is people's, like, continual creativity with coming up with excuses for how to dismiss criticism. It's like, well, you didn't watch the episode. It's like, okay, did you watch High Guardian Spice? Because I guarantee you saw screenshots of it and thought something about it, whether you watched it or not. But yeah, RWBY fans just go, like, bending over backwards to find any kind of excuse to discredit criticism. I have been looking through the rude tag on Tumblr every now and then, and there was a really well-worded post yesterday, I think it was, and it was like, every single criticism, there is a thing the fandom says to rebut it, to basically says it can't apply. Like, you can't talk about something that happened volumes ago, because then you're clinging to the past. But if you talk about something that's still ongoing or recent, then you're not giving it enough time, you know? It was a very, very well-worded post, and I was just like, yeah, it's true. And this fandom is the, like, people talk about how bad fandoms are, and yeah, you know, we're all used to it. People will point out, like, the Naruto fandom, or Voltron apparently had a really bad fandom. I know the Steven Universe fandom had issues. I know currently the Critical Role fandom is, like, rabid, and also the Hell of a Boss Has Been Hotel fandom, also pretty rabid. But I truly do think the RWBY fandom is the worst, just because it's not huge. It's not a big, booming, popular thing. If I walked out to, like, if I was in the middle of New York, like, Times Square, and I said, raise your hand if you know what RWBY is. RWBY. Raise your hand if you know what RWBY is. I guarantee very few people would actually raise their hand. Not to say that RWBY isn't popular. Clearly people watch it, but that's not like a household name. Not everyone knows what RWBY is. And things like, you know, Hell of a Boss is more popular, and things like that. And so I think the thing with RWBY is, not only is it so small comparatively, and so the fandom gets more defensive because of its smaller size, and they think they need to prove something. They also have the tendency to, like, think about the humble beginnings of RWBY, you know? Yes, Jordan, are you raising your hand because you know what RWBY is? Or do you have a question? It's like when Butch Hartman says you can't critique art unless you're an artist. That's that, right? It's that like, I say, hey, this animation does not look good. Well, you animate something. How about, why don't you animate it? And I'm like, that's not how critique works. It's like, they're like, hey, my food doesn't taste right. Well, why don't you cook it? Why don't you cook it? It's like, because I paid this person to cook my food. That's how it works. So yeah, the RWBY fan base is so weird and touchy, and I think it's also, like, we can all, and this now new fun addition to why the RWBY fan base is so bananas all the time, is because I think deep down, they would never admit it, but deep down they know that it's dying. Rooster Teeth is dying. RWBY is not doing very good anymore. It's not getting numbers. It's not getting money for the company. And so they know that deep down. They don't want to admit it, but now it really is like, if you say you don't like RWBY, you're gonna kill it. You're gonna get rid of it. It's gonna be gone. And it's like, whether or not I point out the criticisms doesn't actually affect it. Because it's going down the drain anyway. Man, the thought process is so cringe. Anyone can critique anything, even if they're bad at getting their thoughts across. People are allowed to critique. Yes, 100%. Like, a child can walk up, like, and that's like, you'll get the most honest, best critique from children, because they just tend to say it how it is. If a child walks up to you and says, Dad, why does it look weird? I don't understand, it doesn't look right. Then, yeah. That is the most honest criticism you will ever get, because they're not going to sugarcoat their feelings. But whatever, RWBY fans have always been bad. They've gotten worse. What's my favorite Magical Girl cartoon? Madoka Magica, which is something so exciting. So can't wait for Magical Girl May. I keep thinking about it. I'm gonna do, and that's why April is gonna be a big experimental month, because I'm doing a lot for Magical Girl May this year, because this year, May is 5 weeks long, and that means I can do 5 videos. Ooh, I already know what videos they're gonna be, except for whatever the patrons vote for, but whatever they vote for, I am prepared to get that video ready. So, I'm so excited, and then after that, I'm gonna continue doing Magical Girl things, specifically Madoka Magical Girl things, but we'll get to that later, so. Well, I'm excited. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I keep seeing, like Magical Girl-themed things on Twitter, and I'm just like I saw this great, like, pastel Magical Girl-inspired Gundam-looking thing, and I'm like, whoa, this is dope. So yeah, so I made that video. I wasn't planning on making a video about it, but then I was like, it was when I looked and I saw it had, like, my tweet had 2,000 views on it, and I'm like, well, why waste time here? It's just like the Tyrion Tale video. You know, everyone who keeps being like, I thought you were done with RWBY. First of all, I said I was taking a break from it. Second of all, it keeps happening because people keep, like, taking one thing I say and going crazy about it. And then I'm like, well, I want to be able to clarify myself, and doing it by tweeting a million different things or commenting 100 different times on 100 different posts, that's not going to get it across very well. So I'll make a video, and then I'll get those thousands of views on the video. And it makes so much more sense. Will there ever be a chatting string with no discussion of RWBY? Probably not. In fact, I was thinking about it. I do want to eventually talk about Volume 9, but I was like, I don't want to have to, I don't want it to be like a sit down and watch it and write your script and rewatch episodes so you catch everything, and you gotta make sure your script is like, you can't have anything wrong with it. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, I wonder if maybe I could do a stream type situation where we just watch RWBY and we react to RWBY together, you know? And I can just take my thoughts from the stream and then edit it down to the best bits and then make a my thoughts on RWBY Volume 9 type video. So, but I don't know. I'm still thinking about how I want to do it. Have I read the RWBY books based on Coffee and Roman and Neo? I started to read the first one about Coffee after the fall. I don't like E.C. Myers' like writing style. That's my biggest thing. They tend to write it's not obtusely. I don't know. I'm not a fan of their writing style. You know, I tried. I did give it a try, but I didn't like how they were describing things. And there was a lot of things that needed to be described, you know? So, whatever. I tried. And then I really didn't want to read. I read like a synopsis of the Neo one, and I'm like, that sounds like you ruined a good character with a weird, goofy backstory, and I don't want to read that. Do I know about Glitch Productions? If not, check it out. Which one is that? Are they the one doing the, like, they had a new trailer come out either yesterday or today, called Pitch, which is PTCH. I have not watched it, but I got several people telling me about it, and so I'll check it out. I do want to do a video, which is a catching up on RWBY things that I watched before, which is, like, to talk about, like, Raxacori has had several videos since I last reviewed his Team Dark stuff. There's been an update to the Lee trailer, and I would love to talk about that. I did watch it. It was interesting. So yeah, and be able to just, like, address things that I have talked about and did not go back to. Like, have done things since I talked about them, you know? They did Meta Runner. Oh, I've heard about Meta Runner. I don't know. The genre doesn't interest me. I was thinking about this today, actually, like these last few days. Thinking about, jeez. Sorry, there's like, it's spring break, apparently, and so all the kids in the neighborhood are playing. I don't think you can hear them, but one of them just, like, did a war cry. They were just doing something bananas out there. No, I like fantasy things. You know what's my favorite? You know that meme that's like, I love blank. They gotta be one of my favorite genders. I was thinking about it, and it was, if I had to do it, it was, I love stories that take place during the fall, in the forest, with a slightly swampy vibe, with dead trees, with mushrooms growing on them, and evil, demonic, witch, fae creatures living within that forest that have deer-like vibes, and also have things like twigs and mushrooms growing on them, specifically taking place in the 90s at a trailer park. So, which is so specific, and the only thing I can think of that actually encapsulates all of that, except for maybe the trailer park part, is, what's that one that came out? That one about the two boys that went into the forest. They have a blue jay friend. You know what I'm talking about. Elijah Wood voices one of them. What is that show called? Does anybody remember? It's like, it's not called Into the Woods. Is it called Into the Woods? No, it's not. I know it's specific. I am aware how specific that is. I'm drinking my coffee, listening to the kids screaming outside. But yes! Over the Garden Wall! Yes! That's what it is. I watched that, and it was, like, vibe-wise, everything I wanted. You know? It was phenomenal. I was actually thinking about reviewing it this October, like around Halloween, because I thought about it last year, but I thought about it in the middle of October, and I was like, I already have everything planned for this October, so I should do that next year. So I'll probably talk about it sometime this year. So, yeah, I know, that's what I love. That feeling, that's what I love. There was a song that I heard recently. I heard it by watching a Warrior Cats map. What a surprise. It's like my main way of getting new songs introduced to me, is watching Warrior Cats multi-animator projects. This one isn't new. It came out some time ago, but it was called, The Woods by Sam something. That song, that's same vibes. Oh, you did hear the kids scream? Yeah, sorry about that. I mean, I can't do anything about it. I'm not gonna be that, like, Squidward ass, curmudgeonly, stop having fun! You know, like, it's their spring break. It's also raining, so they're probably just, like, running around having fun in the rain. So, they'll stop once it gets hard enough out there, and they get cold. I love seeing the lag between this chat and the one in the stream. You just Yeah, I don't know how to fix that. I'm streaming on Wi-Fi. I found out that apparently that's bad to stream off of your Wi-Fi. I think people use Ethernet cables, but I don't know. I don't do that shit. My my modem is downstairs. It would be so obnoxious getting it close enough where I could plug in an Ethernet cable, you know? The kids screaming is an aesthetic. Oh, come here to my stream. It's the witch thing. It's just the kids I'm luring into the forest to turn into pumpkins. Now the kids, they go bananas. I'm glad I thought about streaming on Monday. That was a thought I had. Then last Monday, oh my god, it was like every single landscaper in the planet was having a competition on who can be the loudest person. Yes, the dogs. The dogs woke up. Then they have to run in here and shake around. I guess my mic picks up more audio than I expected. Well, whatever. Just finished watching my Korra video? Thank you. And that reminds me, back on topic. That was the last one. My Korra video was set and ready to go. I just needed to, like, put in the background music. You know? Just, that was all I needed. And then the whole bananas with Blake and Yang happened. And I made that video. People were like, it must have been planned out because you had a whole video made. And other people are being like, you went through so much trouble to make this whole video? And I was like, it's only 11 minutes long. It was so fast. I recorded the audio that day. I put it all together that day. And it was done by the next day. Like, within hours. It took no time. Especially since, like, all of the footage I needed was just that trailer. That teaser clip, which is like a 2-minute long clip. It's so easy to edit. How long does it take you to edit videos together? So usually it depends on what it is and if I have the footage for it. Top 10 videos are the easiest because I can just like get all my footage in order of my list. And usually it's just like a song, you know? I don't need my top 10 Disney villains songs list. I don't need to record the whole movie. I just need to get that one moment. For something, my next video that's coming up is reviewing season 1 of My Little Pony. Because that's gonna take, that I'm addressing many episodes, capturing footage for that is gonna be a lot longer. Capturing footage is the hardest part, honestly. That's the most time consuming, and there's no way to speed up that process, because I just need to sit there and capture the footage. I use Bandicam. Surprise! That's the secret. I use the free version of Bandicam to capture all of my footage, and I just need to cut out the, like, Bandicam logo on the top of my screen, and sometimes I miss it, and you've caught me. Some people have caught me. Yes, Friendship is Magic. I'm gonna go back and review season 1 of Friendship is Magic, because I used to watch it. I stopped around season 5, I think it was. And now that the franchise isn't huge, what is Bandicam? It's a screen capturing, software. It's free. A lot of people use it. Yeah, now that the My Little Pony fandom is not huge and crazy anymore, going back and looking at it in retrospective might be fun. How do you capture audio from shows? Bandicam also will capture audio. If you are using Bandicam and it is not capturing audio, you need to change it in your settings. I learned that slowly over the course of several years. Why not OBS? I don't know. I'm using OBS. am I using OBS? I'm not good with technology. I picked Bandicam because I knew what it was. You know, I had seen, like, stolen footage for, like, weird anime AMVs, and it had that Bandicam logo on the top. And I knew what to look up, and it was free. You know, you can use OBS to record. Can I? I don't know. I don't like changing my mold. I like slowly learn new things over time with systems I've been using for decades, because I refuse to like watch tutorials. And so whenever I have like a new thing I need to learn, like setting up streaming, figuring out everything you see on screen, not only my character, but VideoTube Mini, which is how I use my character, OBS, all that. Figuring this out took like a month. I had to like I watched videos and like made sure it worked right. But yeah, I use Bandicam. So yeah, the My Little Pony video, it's not only a longer video, it's 10 pages, and I have learned that approximately 10 pages worth of script will be close to an hour's worth of video, give or take. I tend to overshoot it, so I know what to prepare for. So, the script process is also pretty long. The longer it is, of course, that takes a while. But I kind of know what it is I'm going to talk about before I get in there. So the actual editing process, once I have my footage, my script, my audio, everything's done, actually editing it takes around 2 to 3 days, depending on the length of it. If it's really long, it will take longer. My What Ruined Ruby video took about 2 weeks for me to edit. And what I did was I chopped it up into chunks. Each part I edited separately, and then exported those all, and then put them all back into my editing processor, so that it wouldn't tank my computer. Because if it goes too long, then I'll just crash Premiere, you know? Premiere is what I use to edit my videos. So that was the answer to your question. It's such a process. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on the Steel trailer. What is that? I don't know what that is. Help. Oh, I guess now let's talk about fan art, because I have some fan art to show you since I've been gone. This one, starting off, which was one that I got several weeks ago. I got it the same day the last time I streamed, which was 2 Tuesdays ago. And it's great. I've seen Ninja's art before. I love the way they draw like eyes. This is such an aesthetically pleasing style. And I love the way they've drawn like all my little like familiars. They're so cute and fluffy, and it's just so charming. I love this. I love this so much. It's really hammering home the magic in Magical Girl. My favorite thing is watching chat struggle to keep up, like catch up to where we are. Yeah, I love this. Phenomenal. I will probably use this as the thumbnail next week, I think, because I like it a lot. It's super great. I love the colors also. Like, just the darkness of my hair, the shading thing with my hand, the flowiness of the ribbons, like on my arms. 10 out of 10, you know? And then I have this fan art. And I'm amazed. This looks so scarily accurate to my face. This is a charming little pose. I love how huge the hat is. Huge hats on witches is such a good look. This is a beautiful composition. It looks amazing. I love the shading. I love all of this. It's great. Also, this perspective, like this top down, that's hard. That is hard to do. Jeez, kids. the screams of children in the background. But yeah, this is a super impressive one. I love it. I love this pose. I love everything about it. But yeah, thank you so much for your various fan arts. They will all eventually become thumbnails for something sooner or later. I love them. Thank you so much. I love getting fan art. I love just sharing with you the cool things people do. So, So yeah, that's what, so yeah, next up is gonna be a My Little Pony video, which is gonna be fun. I released my Korra video today, woo! I wanna do Korra, the next one sooner rather than later, so it'll probably be early in April. Very early in April, if maybe. I tend to change my mind on things a lot. For example, I have a calendar, and the calendar says that this week was supposed to be, because I saw someone commenting about it, my Vox Machina Season 2 review was going to be this week. I think I'm going to actually push that until June, because it's similar to what I was saying with My Little Pony video going to be very long. This one's also going to be kind of long, because there's a lot to talk about. So, Steel Trailer's the new Pitch fan animation. Okay, so yeah, I was talking about that. I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna check it out later. Fun fact, Tuesday tends to be my day off. Tuesday and Sunday. I tend to not do anything on those days, because it works around Rambo's schedule the best. So if you tweet at me something on Tuesday or Sunday, I will not get to it until probably Wednesday/Monday, you know. So, if I have not seen it yet, because I was resting yesterday. I was playing Pokemon's Shield version, which, okay, because I had started a new game in Scarlet version, and I was not having fun. It was so not... It's one of those games where, and this happens a lot with open world games, where you play it the first time and it's great, but then once you try playing it a second time, it just doesn't hold up, you know? And so I was playing through it and I'm like, I'm not enjoying this that much. Maybe I'll just put this on the back burner, and I want to go back and do Shield again, because I have the DLC, but I never finished the DLC, the Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra DLC for Shield. So I was like, you know what, I'll do that. The perfect time. Going back to Shield version, after playing Scarlet version, Shield looks so beautiful. That game is gorgeous comparatively. There are so many cool details, like everything looks good. There's no like 24p PowerPoint characters walking around. It's so playing it, it's like, this looks great. It does have some problems. One of the things I'm gonna maybe do in April is make a video talking about the differences between Gen 9 and Gen 8 Galar versus Paldea. What's my favorite cuisine? Burritos. I love burritos. Chimichangas are also good, but it's easy to ruin a chimichanga, but you can't go wrong with a burrito. I love burritos. I once sent you fan art for a t-shirt design. I offered you the source file if you wanted to sell the design, no strings attached, but you never responded. I thought I insulted you? No! I remember that because I have a folder on my phone of fan art, and that is the first picture on the folder. So it's like the main picture, like, for the album file. Why did you delete? I didn't sell it because the way Teespring works, I couldn't get the design, like, on the bottom of the shirt, like the way your design had it. There was like a splash art and something that was on like the very bottom of the shirt, like along the seam at the end. And the way t-shirt used to work, the way Teespring used to work, I couldn't get it down to that spot. And I didn't want to, like, fuck up your composition that you had. And then later, when Teespring did change it so I could move things down there for certain styles, I didn't want to just steal your design and not credit you. So I kept the fan art in my phone, I took a screenshot, and then I never went back for it, and I didn't know, like, how to, like, find that again. So if you want to repost it and everything, I can credit you, and I will make that a t-shirt. So yeah. You like spaghetti? I like spaghetti too. But spaghetti, I like spaghetti. I'm hating it with red sauce. I've had red sauce spaghetti so much in my life, and now I don't want it anymore. So I've been having a lot of white sauce spaghetti. Also, I've been having a lot of spaghetti with, like, different meats. I tend to use it on like, I tend to use just, like, hamburger with spaghetti. I'm tired of it. I'm just so tired of meat in general. I think it's time to go back to being a vegetarian for another month. What's the lore on my witch VTuber? I don't really have any lore that I've thought of. I mean, other than I am a witch, and I am the Pumpkin Patch Witch, and this is my pumpkin patch. I have nothing, like, crazy or interesting. It's like those VTubers that are like, what is your character lore? I am a cat person, and that's it. If I do ever think of interesting lore, I'll make, like, a video or something. I don't know. If you had spaghetti with hot dog? No. I've had it with sausage, though. Like brats. That was pretty good. That was pretty dope. For some reason, the plot is they've become teenagers. Are you guys talking about the Justice League crossover? That's so dumb. I can't believe they've wasted their first RWBY movie on not only such a stupid concept, but such an ugly looking, like, it looks ugly. The trailer looks so bad. Do I have jack-o'-lantern familiars? I just have these 3, which is Critter, and then Lumpy, and then Hampkin. What do I think of mecha? See, that's the thing. I'm not too big into mech stuff. Like future robot-y space things, not really my jam. I don't really like that. I tend to like fantasy and like fairy tale. Space stuff, it's fine. Robot things, it's fine. And not usually my first pick, though. I've seen some good mech anime. Bokurano was what it was called. It was the one that was... Their mascot was called Dung Beetle. It was the one where, when the kids piloted the mech, one of them would die. So... Spaghetti with Spam? I don't like Spam. At least I didn't. I think it's fine, but I think you need to cook it the right way. I don't like Spam raw, you know? Some people do that. What was my favorite school subject? I guess history. I liked history, but history was really boring until I got to college. Because the schools I went to it was like, here's the Civil War again. It was like, I know the Civil War. Can we learn about other countries, please? And then I finally took, like, world history in college, and I'm like, yeah! Why is Batman an actual Batman? I know, it's so goofy. Like, the Justice League, like, they had a design for him. He had bat ears. But Rooster Teeth are all lazy assholes, and they refuse to make characters, none of their fondest characters have ears anymore. Because they don't like they don't like making new rigs for them. That is entirely it. They don't want to make a new model and a new rig just for someone's ears, because they've talked at length about how they don't like it, because Blake's ears are hard to animate, and blah blah blah. And so they just gave everyone tails, or other, like, attachments. No one has cool animal ears anymore. Dark fantasy? Love it. 10 out of 10. Yes. My history class would focus on our country's history rather than worldwide. A lot of them do that, and it's so boring. Wings can be cool. So the thing with Faunus is that it's... The selling point was... I will stay hydrated. Thank you, Zach. I will take a drink right now. Tea. The thing with Faunus, the selling point was that Monty wanted an excuse for there to be just, like, cat girls, and cute bunny girls, and cute characters with cute animal features, just like every single other anime in the universe. And then they're like, but we don't want to do that. So we'll make them ugly animals. Oh, a tail that you can never see. Bat wings that he never use. Cute boys with cat ears. Yes. Yes. Oh, I did see. I saw a clip. It was on YouTube. It was of the latest episode. It was like the girls confronting their past selves. First of all, current Blake, talking to past Blake, like Volume 1 Blake. Volume 1 Blake looks like shit in this new engine. Her hair is just like horribly purple, and it doesn't match the stark black and white of her outfit. And it just looked so weird. And also, like, her tits were so saggy, and they didn't change. I don't know. Why did they do this? They didn't change Blake or Yang's tits. Their boobs are the same as how they looked back then, which means Yang's, like, old boobs are huge, humongous, and she has this tiny, tiny little waist, and now Yang has, like, tiny boobs and, like, regular waist, and they look so weird. They don't look like the same character if you didn't have their same bobblehead sitting on top of them. And then Blake's whole, and I know the entire reason why is because they have these models. They got the models to use not only for the intro in Volume 7, I think, 7 or 8, one of them, but they used the models for the stupid Justice League movie, and they sat there and went, we should use these in the real show. I know. And judgmental critters talking about episode animations. I hate her. So yeah, so they look awful. Seeing the old designs in this engine, it just really hammers home how ugly this engine is. I don't know why. I was talking to Rambo about how good 3D animation looks. Like, Trigun is coming out now. There's Land of the Lustrous, you know? Even Beastars, which doesn't look great, looks better than RWBY, and RWBY looks so bad. It has no color, except for, so the argument of it has no color, and they've overcompensated by making everything in this Wonderland world, like, vomit-inducingly saturated. But it was, so I was watching, beyond the designs of the way the characters look, they were talking, and they were saying, like, stupid shit. And one of them was like, Yang, do you want your arm back? And I'm like, wait, so really? After we had this whole thing about, oh, but we're gonna make jokes that you don't have your arm. Now we're gonna be like, oh, but this is serious now. But the worst part was, hi, Ben 10. The worst part was Blake being like, do you want to be a human? Or a cat. You could do that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? When has this ever been a thing? When has this ever been a thing in RWBY? When has Blake ever resented being a faunus? We have ever hinted at the idea that she did not want to be a faunus? No. And what does that mean? What you could be a cat. What? Why? What? Like, if we're talking, like, if this is, like, the in-world universe of, like, a different race, what? That feels so racist. And then she was like, my culture's important to me. What fucking culture? Faunus culture? There is none. There's no culture in this show. What culture? That's so stupid. So yeah, I saw that and I'm like, I can't believe this is how they, like, I don't understand that this is how the show has gone. You know? Watching that clip, and I'm just like, oh god. And seeing, like, I've been keeping up with, it's Clyde Bitches on Tumblr. It's Clyde Bitches, or Clyde. They've been reviewing RWBY for a long time. I've seen several of their posts before, and I didn't want to watch Volume 9, but I've been seeing their posts, and I've been keeping up with what's going on. And it just sounds like this volume is just Team RWBY wanders, Team RWBY does a thing, Team RWBY's done with the thing, next episode, rinse and repeat. Like, it just, nothing's happening. They're just wandering around, not knowing what they're doing, apparently. There's a new yokai watch project? What? I thought it was dead. I thought it was gone. Oh, is it on the Switch? Tweet at me. Tweet at me, like, whatever the links are. If it's a YouTube video, tweet me. Give me that. Hell yes. Hell yes. Man, I love Yokai Watch. That's the best. Do I know Chainsaw Man? I do. I watched it. I thought it was really fun. It was really smart. I really liked the opening song. The opening song was really good, and all covers of it are great. Hi, Mei. You can just be a cat. Yeah, that's like... That's like saying you're not human, basically. It's like you're not getting to be human if you're a faunus. But you could be a human, or you could be entirely just cat. When has this ever been a thing? Who? What? Thank you, Adam, my man. Nice to see you again. Well, I stopped watching RWBY after Volume 6. It's just sad to see the show like it is now. Maybe the show should just reboot. I don't think a reboot would fix anything. You know? I think... Like, I agree, it's just, oh, jeez, I don't know, RWBY's so hard, because I'm like, a reboot wouldn't fix anything, because we could change it so it all looks consistent, or looks better, but the story, the haphazard story that they have come up with on the seat of their pants, because they really like making cliffhangers, but not story beats. Like, you can really tell, in hindsight, that what they're doing is they're writing things that sound interesting and have an interesting tease as to where it could possibly go, but they did not have an idea of what to do with that tease. It's really cool to say, and then, as they all get to this thing, we're met with this interesting debacle, this interesting moment where the characters might face an interesting threat, but they never actually care about doing the interesting part. They just like presenting the idea of it, something being interesting, and then when it eventually comes to the next season and they have to follow up on that, it's rushed and half-assed, and because they're quickly trying to get to the next interesting thing they can propose but not actually do anything with. Yeah, also, you're right. Miss Mayhaps. What a good name. I love internet names. The only time the show Blake ever seemed to want to reject being a faunus was hiding her ears with a bow, and to be honest, I always assumed she just did that to hide her past involvement with a white fang. I agree. Everything with that clip I saw about Yang being like, I have my prosthetic arm, and I'm better now, and Blake being like, my culture, and Weiss having clearly nothing to say, and they had to come up with some bullshit thing for her to say too. That whole moment, like, it's all things that we've we resolved these issues years ago. These things have not been problems for these characters for years. Like, Volume 5. We really have had no development with any of these characters since, 5 years ago. Yeah, I notice you. Yeah, we have nothing to do with these characters for 5+ years, and they're not doing anything new or interesting. It is, and the thing's like, I'm a huntress. That was the thing. That was how the clip ended. Was they're all like, I'm a huntress. I'm a huntress. I'm a huntress. And then we cut to RWBY, and she's sad, and her face looks awful from the perspective she's sitting in. And that was the end of the clip. But I was like, why do you give a fuck about being a huntress? Maybe it was talked about in the scene prior, but literally, last volume, the volume we were just in, actually it was 2 volumes ago, Volume 7, they became huntresses. They got their huntress licenses. That was a whole thing. In an episode I thought was pretty decent. Pomp and Circumstance? That was the name of the episode. They got their licenses. And you know what their reaction was? Nah. Actually, now that I have it, I realize I didn't even want this. This wasn't even that important. None of us are happy or excited that we have our huntress licenses. And in fact, in all of the episodes after this, we will treat the act of being a huntress as if it is boring and tiresome. We will have a whole montage of us being bored and tired and we don't like our job anymore. And now we're gonna turn around and be like, I'm a huntress! I'm proud! It's like you can't even pick a lane. You can't even choose a path to stay on, Rooster Teeth. Thank you so much, Messiah Complex. You're too kind. You're too nice. I lost a finger last year. Oh, jeez. I'm so sorry. My brother and I were immediately making Frodo jokes about it in the hospital, but Yang and Blake making jokes about her arm is so unfunny, especially spending after so long doing the opposite. Yes, sorry about your finger. I hope you're doing well. But yes, you are so accurate. Like, some people are fine with making jokes, especially with certain people. Something I saw people say on my video about the screenshot was, well, Ty made a joke about it, back in Volume 4. And I'm like, yes, he did. And that was a good moment to show that in that scenario, Yang is not offended by that, and it is in fact something she was happy with her father for. They laughed about it. It was a good moment between the two. But I would say, if Port had said something like that, would Yang still be laughing? Is it the relationship she has with Ty that makes it so she is not offended by the comment he has made? And I do believe that we can get to a point where Yang and Blake can say these jokes about not having an arm, and Yang would not be offended by it. But not only... the scene is set up so weirdly. Yang was upset, and Blake doesn't seem to be saying these jokes to make her happy again. Blake seems to just be ignoring Yang and starts making these jokes, and Yang, has no attention span and laughs with her. It's the fact that Yang doesn't make any jokes too. It's just Blake making a bunch of jokes over and over again. I don't know. It doesn't feel like a healthy relationship. Quite frankly, if I took the time to really look at it, it looks like Blake and Yang is a very, very unhealthy relationship. But whatever. And we never saw Ty again. Yeah, that's the kind of thing. I only say Neo is the one that gets to grow her semblance throughout the show because we see her growing her ability to change the appearance of objects, and now she can make clones. She can make clones? Her semblance was already so overpowered. Why? What bullshit thing? Have we seen Jean? Has Jean been in the show yet? I know. How disarming. The way she says it, too. I agree, Marie. The way she says it, she says it like she's flirting, but I kind of wish the characters would have hesitated before jumping straight into the I'm a huntress, just like a brief moment. The saddest thing that it looks like, I agree, the saddest thing with this volume, it looks like Blake, Yang, and Weiss are all just hive mind. They have the same exact ideas. We're doing the same thing. None of us can also have a moment of introspection, because that's RWBY's job. That's what she gets to do this volume. She gets to be sad, and that means we don't get to have any personality. So, Jean is nowhere to be found. Okay, well, whatever. I mean, it's like, once again, the interesting thing of Jean has fallen with them all. It's been Jean, Team RWBY, Neo, and a bunch of civilians no one cares about, and will never get addressed. Jean, and then they hear that everyone is, upset that Jean fell, because of course we are, because once again, it has to be Jean being the special snowflake, so then they quietly try to, retcon that out, and try to be like, well, because you all didn't like that, Jean's not gonna be in it that much. It's like, you guys did this. You did this. Why did you write this if you can't commit to it? And the whole, it's all been planned before, I highly fucking doubt that when Monty Ohm sat down and thought of the colors red, white, black, and yellow, that him, Miles, and Carrie gathered around their RWBY Bible, and they're like, and then in 10 years, we're gonna have a thing where everyone falls off of bridges and fall into Wonderland, and they're all gonna filly-faff around in Wonderland the entire volume? You know what I thought the other day? I just thought, I miss Crow. Because I was thinking about, his new voice actor. I don't remember his name. I apologize. I was thinking about new Crow's voice actor, and I'm like, he does a really good job as Crow. I really like his performance. I want to see more Crow. And then I remembered that Volume 9 is just Team Borsnor doing nothing in Wonderland. And I'm like, I miss Crow. I miss Maria. I miss Nora. I miss Ren. I miss Emerald. Why? I miss Winter. Why? Why are we ignoring everyone else for this filler season? So yeah. Good old RWBY. So yeah, maybe when Volume 9 is over, I might do a stream, like, reacting to it. It would have to be a multi-day stream, because my plan would be also to, like, pause and, like, voice myself about the thing I am watching. So if I can't do all 12 episodes, or however many they're gonna have in one stream, that would take forever. I prefer the new one. Vic Mignogna's not a good voice actor, let's be honest. He was always he has one mode. He only has one voice he can do, and it's Edward Elric, and that's it. Thank you. It's once again you, Miss Mayhaps. Thank you. Yeah, I liked my pre-write, I guess is what it should be called, much better. And the show proper is so boring comparatively. I can't believe they actually didn't even bother trying to touch on the other people in Vacuum and whatever. I saw someone post on Tumblr, I think, and it was the sad idea that what they would do is after the volume ends, they'll get back to the others and it will be a time skip, and it would be sad because that means we just are jumping over all of the interesting things that they left us off on. And I'm like, that would be really shitty and sad, and they would probably do something like that. A time skip would be such a bad idea, if I say. Thank you so much, Anton. Aw, you guys are so nice. You guys are too kind. You're always giving me things. It's nice. I wonder if we're going to get a time skip. I was just saying! Oh my god! What are the odds that you left that as I was saying this? Yeah, I think a time skip would be a bad idea. Because that's so interesting. Where we left everyone off in Vacuo. We have no idea whatever happened to Maria and Pietro. Crow finding... that was one of the interesting things when I was doing my version. Was Crow doesn't know what happened. None of the Aesops know what happened, so having him figure out where to go next is a pretty interesting direction for him to go, because he's now open to any possibilities, you know? But, if I had money, I'd donate, but uni got me broke? Yes. Yes. I totally understand. Your views is support enough, you know? It does mean a lot. Critter, you are a Yarhar pirate or a Yo-ho-ho pirate. I'm a Yarhar fiddle-de-dee. Being a pirate is something. What is that song? What was that show? Is that from Lazy Town? Is that the name of that show? That song was like core internet for me growing up. Wild pilot? Jeez Louise, look at you all. Coming out, doing things, being nice. A watch party for Volume 9 would be great. Oh, you might not be able to do it on YouTube, though. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Unless I did, like... No, I don't know. I don't know, because I don't think I could do it on Twitch, either. We would have to figure it out. I don't know. I would have to look into it. But we would see. I might just not be able to monetize the streams. But... we'll figure it out. I have time. You know, what episode are they on even? 7? 6? How many episodes have there been of the season yet? Jeez. I don't want to pirate it. That's the thing. It is called Lazy Town. Okay. Thank you, Stereotype. Jeez Louise. Oh my god. But maybe if we sacrifice Crow, we never see Robin again. That is true. That I would be willing to get rid of Robin forever. God, I don't know why, but this morning I was just sitting there and I thought of Robin's just only as she throws the stupid chair. And I was thinking about how a good voice actor doesn't always give a good performance. And you can tell the voice directors of RWBY do not know how to direct their characters, ever. A watch party disguised as a normal chatting stream. True. No, I'll have to figure it out. Maybe I'll ask, like, Cal or Dan how they do it. How they, like, people who have streamed long before me and have streamed, like, whole episodes of RWBY, you know. We'll figure it out. It might just be audio lists for you, which would be weird. I think Twitch has a loophole you can stream shows, just can't post vids. Maybe. We'll see. I'll figure it out. I have time. You know, the season has just started. I tell you what, not having to review weekly episodes of RWBY is so nice. Because I just gotta talk about whatever I actually want to talk about. I was thinking about how, like, I was like, why did it take me so long to get back to Korra? Hi, Floof. I was like, why did it take me so long to get back to Korra? And I was like, oh, that's right, Ice Queendom happened. I was in the middle of, I had to review all of Ice Queendom for 3 months, and those videos. And I was like, man, it just sucks having to just talk about one thing for months at a time. And I was like, okay, yeah, so not talking about RWBY Volume 9, because if I had, because I was also planning on talking about the English dub for Ice Queendom, but hell no, not doing that anymore. I am gonna do another RWBY video. So, like, next week, oh my god, Nep! Jeez Louise! I like this blue color. What's your favorite fish? Fish. Like, to eat or to see? It's a very different distinction. To eat, I had flounder the other day, and that tasted pretty good. But I'm eating-wise salmon. Especially if it's on sushi. Yum. I remember one time, this is one of my favorite stories, Rambo and I, we were gonna make Novolox, which is a type of bagel, where you get bagel, you put schmear on it, cream cheese, and then you get lox, which is a type of, like, pickled seed deal, and then you put salmon on top of it, and we were planning on doing that. That was our plan. We were going to do that. That was gonna be our lunch. We bought the salmon, we got back home, and then we opened up the salmon, and then, like rabid animals, rather than putting together our bagels, we just, with our hands, just consumed all of the salmon in the corner of our kitchen. Because we were gonna just get it like a nibble, like, yay, yum, tasty, but then it was so good, we're just like, eat more! So that's one of my favorite stories. To look at, like a fish. I had fish growing up, and we had, this is gonna sound fake, you're gonna not believe me, but I had fish growing up. We had a mini shark, a piranha, and, what are those, like, suckerfish? Yeah, like a suckerfish. And they were all pretty big. They were all rather large fish. They all lived together, which I don't think they usually do. But they had their one big old fish tank. It was the suckerfish. He was always cool. We called him Mr. Snurpert, because that was the noise he would make. And, that I guess that's my favorite fish. Oh my god! Marie! Jeez Louise! So kind! The latest episode brought up how Ciel never came back. I almost screamed. I think a watch party would be awesome. I did see the clip about how they talked about Ciel. And I was like, that has to be just a nod for Murder of Birds, for Arnold, because he talks about Ciel all the time. Ciel is such a missed opportunity. I had a plan of making a whole ass video, talking about characters that could have come back instead of making new characters. To basically branch off of my Let's Talk About Oscar video. And I didn't give up on making the video. It just seems like it'd be like a whole thing, like if I have no other ideas. And the thing was going to be the Aesops. We did not need to make 5 whole new characters just to make the Aesops, because we had plenty. We had Winter and Penny, rather than having them just be Ironwood's, like, attendants, have them be in the Aesops. So that's Winter and Penny, that's 2. Ciel is already there as well. We could have had Ciel, rather than Vine, who basically acts the same as Ciel, just have it be Ciel. And then if we really couldn't think of 2 other characters, even though we have Team Funky right there, you know, we could have just made, like, Crow and Harriet, or Clover and Harriet, to fill out the rest. So rather than making up 5 whole new characters, use the characters you already made, and then only make 2 new characters if you have to. You know? And I was thinking about it, and I was like, because it was, specifically I was thinking about how the fact that teams need members of 4 during the school days really shot them in the foot, because now whatever character they wanted to do, they had to have 3 whole other characters to follow up with them. It was because, like, they want a bully. They want a bully character. So there's Cardin. And they want a cool guy character. They need a cool guy. So there's Sun. And then they need a character to get bullied. So there's Velvet. And then they could have had those 3 be a team. And then they need a weird character. A weird character to run into. There's Penny. Those 4 could have been a team. Because they had 4 things they wanted. The bully, the cool guy, the bullied, and Penny. That could have been a team, those 4 characters. But instead, what they do is they take those characters and then make their whole team basically just copies of them. You know? We have our bully character, and then here's 3 other carbon copies of Cardin, you know? Cardin is our bully, and then here's his team of other bullies who do exactly like he does. Sun is a cool guy. He does cool things, he's this hot, cool man. Here's his team of other carbon copies of Sun, you know? Like, they're all just the same archetype, just multiplied by 3. And that's what they were doing back in the day. So we made, like, 1 billion characters who are all very similar to each other, with 1 billion different teams, when we could have, like, chopped things up and expedited them to have, like, Cardin, Velvet, Sun, and Penny on one team. And I think that would have been incredibly interesting, because that also has rather similar, like, parallels to Team RWBY. You know, like the rude, racist one. You know, that's Weiss and Cardin. Then there's the Faunus, who wants things to get better. There's Blake and Velvet. The weird girl, who's maybe the leader, but is trying her best, and is different from others. That's Ruby and Penny. And then hot blonde that does a lot of cool fighting stuff. That's Sun and Yang. That parallel could have been interesting. And then we could have also tied that into Team Juniper somehow. But they just go about it so lazily instead. And it's such a wasted potential. And just makes too many characters for no reason. Yes, the cat is voiced by Robbie Damon. And Robbie deserves better. It's the same thing with Robin. With Robin's voice actress, Christina, I don't remember her name, the Homura, basically. With Robin's voice actress, she's a good voice actress, but her, like, performance as Robin doesn't sound right. And it's the same thing with Robbie as the cat. You can tell Robbie doesn't know what vibe is he doing? What emotion is this? And for certain parts where he could probably ascertain that, oh, the cat is stepping in to help someone, you know, he could do a good performance for that. But for the rest of it, it's just like, I don't know what emotion you want from me. Just, yes. Christina V, yes. It's like, I don't know what performance you want from me. And I think it's a sign that Rooster Teeth has very bad voice directors. Sun, Cardin, Penny, Velvet. I know, I thought of this months ago, and I have spent several times since then trying to come up with a team name for Sun, Cardin, Penny, and Velvet. And I'm like, well, it depends on who would be the leader, and I think Penny would be a good choice. But maybe Sun, maybe Cardin, I don't know. Definitely not Velvet. And then if they didn't want to do that, they could have done, like, have teams. So, like, have it be Velvet and Coco, you know, on a team with Sun and Neptune, you know? Penny and Ciel with Cardin and one of his bully goons. I don't know. It gets so weird when you have these genuinely great voice actors like Christina V and Watts' V next to Kara doing what? I know! Team RWBY sounds so bad. I was gonna talk about it. So the video I'm doing next is My Little Pony Season 1. That's what I'm gonna do this week. Next week, what my patrons voted for is analyzing a RWBY trailer. And ew, there's a bug on my coffee. Get out of here, gross ass. I'm gonna be analyzing the Yellow trailer, and I was thinking about it, and I'm like, even back then, Barbara was giving such a shit performance for Yang. Barbara has never given the emotion Yang needed, and it's weird because she's kind of swapped over the years, you know? Because back in the day, Yang, like, Barbara could only do happy. Happy was her only thing. Every single line from Yang sounded the same. I'm this bubbly girl. I'm ready to have fun. And then when she needed to do serious moments, she struggled with it because she could only know how to do the bubbly, fun, happy things. And then, weirdly, the moment Yang needed to be sad all the time, Barbara, like, swapped, and now she can't do any emotion other than moody broody all the time. I'm Yang. I'm always mad. I don't have my arm. But when my girlfriend makes a joke, ha ha ha, I know how I'm funny. Like watching the, like, past Yang talk to current Yang, it was like you could hear Barbara has no idea how to make past Yang sound like the bubbly fun girl she used to sound like. And Aaron has been giving no good performances either. All of Team RWBY sound awful. Kara, I don't know what happened. She's probably just tired of voicing the character. And Weiss is so boring too. Like, why should Kara care? Also, Kara's like they're all getting older and they're still voicing these same characters. That's gotta be tiresome. Especially if it's not a fun character, you know? Like the elderly woman who voices, the elderly Japanese woman who does the Japanese voice for Goku, who has been the voice for Goku since Dragon Ball, you know, the very, very, very beginning. Goku's such a fun character. No wonder she's still voicing him, you know? But moody, broody, bitch-ass Yang, Weiss, who has lost all personality, Blake, who has become this just, like, drooling toad who follows around behind Yang. Who would want to voice these characters? 10 whole years and RWBY is finally starting to get development, which is another thing. RWBY is finally the RWBY time. We cut out every single other character, and RWBY is the only one who gets to have emotions now, and she's big sad, which theoretically should be fun. This should be interesting, but I'm so worried that the resolution is gonna basically just be, and then she gets over it. Like, episode 12 of volume 9 will come out, and RWBY will be like, I'm over it! I'm back to being exactly how I was. Yeah, drooling toad. Like a toady. Like when bully characters have toadies that follow them around. That's Blake, but she's drooling because she thinks Yang is hot. So the description of my video where I talk about the screenshot, I made it really long because I thought that was funny. I wrote it out like it was like a noir piece. That was my mentality. That I was writing a noir little essay about me talking about the screenshot. And so it's a really long description. My favorite part is that I call Yang and Blake, I call them Big Blonde Tantrum Baby and Cat. And then someone left a comment on the video, and the comment called them bland and yikes. It's so easy with Blake and Yang to call them shitty, stupid nicknames. Oh, God. No. So yeah, that's been what my week has been all about lately. So, yep, just gonna be doing My Little Pony. Did anyone here watch My Little Pony? God, I used to. Heading out, goodbye, be good, be safe. Cat and book, yeah. Have you heard about the upcoming Mighty Nine show? I have. I'm excited for it. Actually, Critical Role was something I wanted to talk about next month. So April is going to be a big experiment month, and the two things I want to talk about was Pokemon, comparing Scarlet and Violet to Sword and Shield. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about was Critical Role, because I wanted to talk about how I'm not enjoying Campaign 3. But I'll talk about it. I'm more excited for the Mighty Nine animated series than I am for Vox Machina's animated series. I like Vox Machina, and the series is very good. but I like the Mighty Nine as characters better. You know, like, when I think about the characters that they have played across their 3 campaigns, my least favorites are always from Vox Machina, you know? I think they've gotten better and more fun and creative with their characters over the years, and I like the Mighty Nine just way more. Alright. I think that's everything. I got stuff to do. Yeah. It's getting on to the day. It's been over an hour. Wow, you guys got me chatting about things like My Little Pony and RWBY for over an hour. Wow. So yeah, I gotta get to my video. I haven't finished the script yet, which technically I only have like a little bit left to do. So oh, hi Orange! Any plans for Magical Girl May yet? Yes, I'm so excited. I cannot wait. And that's why April's gonna be a weird month, because I'm gonna use a lot of April to get ready for May. Speaking of, with the animation challenge, the deadline is April 2nd, but I probably won't have videos going over the results of that until after May, you know, because I want to be able to dedicate a lot of time talking to it, and so April and May will probably just be like voting months, you know? So we'll get to it. It will be a while, but it is gonna happen. So, yeah. I dropped campaign 3. It's boring and Laura's character is so bossy. I agree. Like, Imogen seems like she should be such a fun character, and she's so not. I just can't stand Imogen. Oh my god. All the other characters. And, like, the worst thing is she's, like, the main character this time around. You know, with her, like, stupid, like, blood moon whatever going on. And every time they spend just, like, 40-ass minutes on her stupid dreams where Laura Bailey is over there overacting to the blood moon that she's dreaming about. And it's like, I don't care. My biggest problem with it is that it's a lot of, look, there's Keyleth. Look, it's Caleb and Bo. Look, OMG, these old characters from the old series that you love. And it's like, yes, I loved them in their series, but I want to get to love these new characters, you know? I can't spend any time with the new characters because you're bending over backwards. Having Matthew Mercer be, like, portraying all of the old characters, so it's just the Matthew Mercer show. As he sits there and talks about how, Pike walks up and says something to Keyleth, and then Keyleth says something to Percy, and Percy says something to Vex, and then we're back to Pike, and then here's Caleb now, and we gotta say something to him, and we gotta say something to them, and it's just Matthew Mercer talking to himself about characters whose stories are already over, while the new characters just sit around and not get to participate. Have I thought about reviewing Chainsaw Man? I did. In fact, I started to write a script, and then I was like, I don't know what to say. Other than the characters are interesting and fun, I wouldn't be opposed to making a video about it, but it's not, like, maybe for Halloween, you know? Something nice and gory for Halloween. I know, it's just, and they bend over backwards for the old characters so much. It's like, stop, I don't care. They had their time. The worst part is they're playing the new characters of the, like, the Hell's Bells. They're so interesting, you know? Like, every single one of them has such interesting things going on with them personally that they just don't get to do because they have to stop and watch the old characters doing all the things that they should be doing. Hi, Critter. Just want to say how much I respect your calendar scheduling and organizational skills for content. It's impressive how you have May already planned out. Thank you so much. I had May planned out back in January. I sat down with my calendar and I wrote down what my ideas were. And if something changes, I go back and I fix it. But I wanted things to be prepared for in advance so that I knew what to get ready for coming up, you know? Because if I don't do that, I tend to just, like flail, and I feel like I'm falling behind, which I never am. Your iPad's gonna die? Well, I should be done streaming anyway. I said goodbye twice now, and then you got me babbling for another, like, 10 minutes. Jeez Louise. So yeah, I am going to go, because I got a lot of My Little Pony footage to capture. Gonna record my audio now that the children have stopped screaming outside. Jeez Louise. So I am going to go and make the video for this next upcoming week. So, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for your donations. You're all so nice and so kind. You're all awesome. Shout out to the thumbnail. There's a link to the thumbnail in the description. The art for what the thumbnail came from. It's in the description. Have a good day. I know I fell into your trap card. Stay hydrated. Have fun. Do good. You know. and just be nice people. And I'll see you all next time. I'll be back next week, I promise. So, see you all. Bye-bye. Thank you all so much.